Before we start, I just want to point out that I haven't turned into a robot. Under here are my knee pads. Many times I've said that a stone is a skater's nemesis. Well, a hill is a very close second. They can come out of nowhere and all of a sudden you're gaining speed and it can be really terrifying. So before you head out, make sure that you've got stopping on a flat surface really locked in for safety. So when it comes to hills, gravity is not your friend. So make sure that you always have your feet against the hill so you don't start rolling off. Carving is a really good option for hills that are very long and quite wide because it gives you enough space. So the idea with carving is you gain a bit of speed and then you turn your whole body against the hill. Then you gain a bit more speed and you turn your whole body against the hill. So this is great because you're traveling and you stop. Traveling, stop. So there are a couple of ways I can show you to carve. So I'm doing a 2-foot carve at the moment, but you can also do the leading heel. This is my preferred one because you get a bit tighter and you keep moving a bit more. Whereas with this one, you really do come to a stop. So let me show you the techniques for both of those. So let's do the 2-foot carving first. So you need to think about leaning on your edges. So if I'm going to do this curve, I need to be on the outside and an inside. You need more weight on the foot that's going to be doing the inside. So the one that's on the outside of the curve will be doing the inside, and that is the one that you have to push really hard on. And as always, it's all about the shoulders. So here we go. Little bit of speed to roll down. I'm going to turn my body, push really hard here, and I've stopped. Bit of speed, turn this shoulder, push really hard on this foot. Shoulder, push, shoulder, push. Shoulder, push, shoulder, push. All about the shoulders. If you don't take your shoulders, this is going to be a lot harder. And you see how low in the knee I'm getting? It really helps to get those edges. With this carving technique, it is possible to actually get quite fast. Because if you're keeping your skates at more of an angle like this, you're going to get faster and faster and faster. So to stop that, make sure you press on that inside edge really hard so you go totally horizontal to the incline, and then you'll go a lot slower and you'll be able to control your speed. So the other option with carving is to do a heel manual on the leg that's on the inside of the turn. So I'm still doing my inside edge and I'm still going to push my shoulder, but I'm going to lift my heel first. Lift my heel and then go. Now I really like this one because I feel that this leg helps to pull that inside edge, and I feel like it anchors you to go against the heel again. So the more you push this foot inwards, straighter you're going to go. So I can do it like this and keep it pointed down the hill more and speed up, or I can point it in and go slower. A really nice bail on this one is to take this down speed and put it into round. So you can do a heel pivot and take out your speed, but make sure when you finish, something is against gravity, otherwise you're just going to keep going. Another really good option for tackling a hill is backwards, because backwards toe stops are a fantastic way to stop. So this technique is my preferred way of tackling hills because I feel that I have the most control to stop quickly if I feel that I'm getting out of control, because I travel backwards down with one toe stop slightly in. So hopefully you shouldn't wear away too much rubber, but if I feel the speed overtaking and I'm thinking, goodness me, I'm going too fast, I can hit 2 toe stops and stop. So this is my preferred option for safety. The technique for this one is a stagger with the back leg doing all the braking. So the back leg, you apply the pressure to whatever speed you want to go. So that is your variable brake, and your leg in front is where all the weight is. So either side, stagger whichever you're most comfortable, or you can do it the other way. The most important part of this backwards one is your body position, because what scares me is obviously I'm going backwards, and as soon as you go backwards I always feel that the stones just come from nowhere. You don't want to fall backwards, because if you think about it, you're on an incline, you're actually going to get more momentum in your fall backwards because you're going to go further down than flat. That makes sense. So you really have to have the weight over this front leg. So you're in the stagger, so you really want the weight over this front leg. So if you do hit anything, you're more likely to just crumple to the ground than hit that back fall. So low over this knee, you can't get low enough. Okay, so let's talk plough stops. Now, this might be a touch controversial, but I am not a fan of plough stops down a hill, and I'll tell you why. So to do a plough stop, you put the weight on this outside edge, but you're putting your weight forwards, which I feel with the momentum of the hill, you're more likely to fall forwards. So if you're going to do a plough on a hill, you have to put your seat right back to counteract this forward pressure. So let me show you. So you've got to be so low, and the stop has to be very gradual. So it's a matter of just keeping that weight on that outside to push against the hill, but you must be super low here to stop this forward momentum pushing you forwards. At the beginning of the video, I said you need to be comfortable with stops on the flat. Now, if you aren't comfortable with stops on the flat, you can absolutely use this sidestep technique if you get to a hill. Literally just put your feet against the hill and sidestep down. Got a railing, you can always hold on. It's a really safe, really good way to tackle a hill if you're not confident yet to cope with the speed. If you're really lucky, you might live near a hill like this. This hill has everything. A cattle grid, rough terrain. So my choices are limited because I have to use the right-hand side of the cattle grid. But there is a smooth section I can use just here. On something like this, there is no shame if you want to sidestep down it. So another option for stopping on a hill is a T-stop. I use this on a much more gradual incline because it just slows you down a little bit, so you can roll, you're like, ooh, a little bit fast, bit of a T-stop, keep rolling, bit of a T-stop, just take a little bit of speed and keep rolling. And especially if I'm coming up to something like this, just helps to control the speed when it's just a very gradual hill. So the technique for this stop, you need to keep tension in this back leg to control the speed and the foot. You can use the toe stop if you prefer, but I tend to use the front wheels because I think they're a little bit harder, so they're going to wear down slower than my toe stop. Always remember, if you're going to ride the hill, don't forget your staggered stance.
Coming next time on Skatie Hills Part 2 Up.
I'm Katie, you've been watching Skatie, and I'll see you next time.